We're back on the air. We're airing stories about entrepreneurship across the World Wide Web. Our next guest, a repeat guest, I'm a serial abuser of myself by having him on multiple times, the talented and intelligent and clearly dapper today, Eric Rothenberg of Orsi, Arone, and Rothenberg. And you're going to talk to us today about tax relief, right?
Well, not so much tax relief, but the pains that people are feeling this year in 2014's returns, which they're preparing and filing now, which are a lot higher in income taxes than they had in 13 and 12 and the years before.
Well, that depends, I guess, what you're putting in your tax returns.
Well, those were
I had a few write-offs this year, so it wasn't that bad.
Ah.
I got some carry-forwards I'm working on.
Oh, that's too bad. But, they do have carry-forwards. You have to make sure you elect not to carry them back, because you have to elect them first back unless you carry them forward. You have to make an election to not carry them back first.
So tell us, what's the landscape look like this year? You say things are changing.
Well, a lot of people will hit for the first time this year is the big Obamacare tax, and that ranges from a couple $1,000s to $4,000 or $5,000 per tax return for people that didn't get full coverage for health care last year. So a lot of people were surprised that didn't occur last year, and this year on their returns, a lot of people are seeing that who elected not to have health care this year and didn't sign up to the website early enough.
Right. So that's individuals, right?
Yeah, that's individual returns. A lot of people were hit by the extra tax for capital gains, which jumped this year from 15 to 20% if you make over certain sums of money, but whether you're single or joint, and also with the top bracket, which changed also for 13 and 14, the 39.6% bracket, whereas in 12 and earlier it was just 35% and below. That's a big increase in tax. We also have the...
Oh, they're chipping away at us, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. And then this year and last year, they eliminated the personal exemptions for high-income people. That disappears after several $100,000 of income. And also they have the extra Medicare tax, 3.8%, and the 0.9%, the 3.8% on net investment income, on top of the regular tax, which went up from 35 to 39.6. And then there's the Medicare tax, which for people making over $200,000, it jumped from an extra 0.9% on every dollar above that. So employers have to take that out. If you're self-employed, you have to pay double that.
Well, I guess they have to come up with money from a lot of different places to pay for all this growing debt.
That's what they're doing, and I think a lot of people's tax bills, people generally look at their returns at the filing time and say, what's my total bill this year versus last year? And if they haven't made a lot of extra money, but they see their tax rate went up, or their dollar amount went up, it's
How did
tough.
this happen?
Yeah, exactly. And then they suddenly get the bill with the big balance due, and then their estimated payments that are due on April 15th and on, those go up as well.
But this isn't going to solve the national problem.
No.
This is just chipping away. This is just the tip of the iceberg, right?
This is the tip of the iceberg.
There will be more to come, because somewhere along the line the debt has to be curtailed. It's a wild horse.
It is, but the debt comes from a lot of different places, and income taxes, particularly for individuals and corporations, it's a small piece. It's a small piece.
Well, a lot of corporations don't pay taxes.
A lot of them don't.
Right. A lot of big corporations, small corporations do, but a lot of big corporations don't.
That's correct.
Right. But there hasn't been a lot of reform in that area, has there?
No, there's not been a lot of reform, and we still have a lot of corporations still going overseas. The IRS and Congress are trying to work out a system to prevent corporations from reincorporating most of their business overseas.
Ah, Burger King. That's not even overseas.
Oh, really?
That's just Canada.
That's yeah, correct. No
That's
sea between.
7% corporate tax. They loved, what is it, Tim Hortons.
It's a competitive world. The countries beyond America are competing with American companies to get them in.
Right.
And if Congress doesn't respond, then those companies will avail themselves of those good tax laws.
I don't understand why more American companies aren't buying companies in Canada for that 7% corporate tax.
Well, because it's a major ordeal to do such a thing, and if Congress does eliminate that loophole, then they'll have to unwind it in a way, and they don't want to spend a lot of money doing something that's going to be a short-lived loophole.